What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another review, and this time we're going to be covering He Got Game, written and directed by Spike Lee, starring Denzel Washington. He Got Game tells the story of Jake Shuttlesworth, who is convicted for murdering his wife, and he strikes a deal with the governor to be released from prison early if he can get his son to sign with a big college campus known as Big State University. And this entire movie is pretty much Jake trying to get his son Jesus to sign with Big State so we can get his freedom. But there's more to this. There's more to the story. It, Jesus was there the night Jake accidentally killed his mother, so their relationship is very, very, very tense. And getting right into it, that is the best parts of this movie are the scenes when Jake and his son Jesus are on screen together. Both actors played off really, really well off of one another. Denzel Washington, to me, in this movie gives a very natural performance. He's just so good at what he does. He comes across as, even though he did, whether it was an accident or not, he did a very heinous thing by killing his wife. But even though it was accidental, but we were rooting for Denzel. We were rooting for Jake to want to get that second chance because he comes across as a very likable guy, an everyman, so to speak. And we want Jesus to listen. We know what really happened to your mother now. She was not killed on purpose. She was killed by accident. Your father was drunk. He was pushing it too hard. Things got very, very out of control. And unfortunately, the mom paid the price. It wasn't done on purpose. It was done by accident. But we can see the hostility that Jesus has for his dad, because at the end of the day, his mother is no longer alive. And this movie, and just seeing the tense relationship between these two, to me is the best parts of this movie. Like I said, Denzel, he's a fantastic actor, very, very natural, he's like the everyman. And Ray Allen, who played the son Jesus, I haven't seen any of his work up till I saw this movie, and he was good. There were moments where his acting could be a little bit stilted, but as the film progresses, he noticeably gets much, much better and gets more comfortable in what he's doing. And his strongest scenes are when he's interacting with Denzel. When you have an actor like Denzel with someone who's still new to the acting gene, Denzel is one of those actors that can accentuate the positives of who he's working with to make them look better. And when they have scenes together, you can clearly tell that Ray Allen is being made to look really, really good, and he's holding his own in these scenes as well. The first scene they share together is where when Jake sees his daughter for the first time. It's actually a very touching moment when Jake sees his daughter. But they go up to the house, and Jake walks in. No, Jesus walks in, sees his dad. They have that very, very tense scene, and I really like it a lot. And every scene they have from then on is very, very tense until we get to the end where they make amends. Even though they make amends in a way, it's not. They don't on screen make amends. Like, you don't see them shake hands, but Jesus ends up signing with Big State, pretty much signifying that they made amends and that they're going to work on their relationship together. And that's, to me, and it kind of makes Jake's story come full circle, and I really like it a lot. And it also makes Jesus' story comes full circle as well, because he's struggling with the fact that he has that strained relationship with his father. He's under pressure because he's under pressure because he has to choose as to what he wants to do with his life. He has people in one ear saying go here to one prestigious college campus because he's a top prospect. He's a top basketball prospect. So, he's got talent. One person saying go here, the other person saying go here. His girlfriend saying go here, while at the same time his girlfriend's actually banging the person who wants him there. But then, so the man has a lot to juggle with, and it's a good character, and it is a lot going on. It can get convoluted at times, but Spike Lee does the best he can to make everything flow in a natural way, and I think he does for the most part with his subplots. I mean, there are some subplots to me that I think could have been accentuated more. I would like to have seen more interactions with the daughter. She's like in the first half of the movie, and then she completely disappears in the second half. I would have liked to have seen Jake interact with his in-laws who are taking care of his children. These are the in-laws on his wife's side of the family, so there's a lot of hostility and a lot of bitterness there. And I would like to have seen Jake interact with those people as well, which I thought could make for some interesting scenes. But the stuff we did get with Jake, aside from his son that I did enjoy, I like the relationship that he forms with this prostitute named Dakota, played by Emilia Jovovich. You know, I like their scenes together, and they develop a real relationship, which I was really liking, and kind of rooting for Jake, to get that second chance to maybe start a more official romance with this woman, because when he first meets her, she's being abused by her pimp pretty much, and Jake being a very decent, being a good guy, goes to check up on her, and they start to form a relationship, which I thought was pretty good, which I thought was pretty cool actually, and it's one of my it's a highlight I like in the movie. I also like Jake's interactions with the two police officers that are pretty much tailing him the entire time he's out of jail. They're pretty much his babysitters. I like the scenes with them; they're very very funny. Like I said, I enjoyed the scenes of Jesus being stuck in this web of what he wants to do with his life, and the running theme with him is this will be the biggest decision you'll ever make in your life. So it's really weighing on him a lot. You know, he's being tempted with sex, drugs, and money, and all this stuff. And he's trying to figure out what he wants to do. And on the other hand, you got Jake, who's trying to convince his son, listen, sign here, get reduced sentence and stuff. So, like, everybody gains something if Jesus does what they want him to do. But in the end, and it all leads up to this intense scene where pretty much Jake and Jesus have a one-on-one basketball game, which Jesus wins, and of course, even though that Jesus did not sign the letter of intent, he does end up going to Big State anyway, and this leads to what I was talking about earlier, to the reconciliation with him and his father. Or the movie, at least, the movie implies can imply a reconciliation that has been forged with his father, which I think is, for a movie like this, to me, it's a satisfying ending, and I like it a lot. I think the movie wraps up to me in a very satisfying way. So yeah, those are things. Those are my general things that I really enjoyed. There are other things I liked as well. The rest of the supporting cast in this movie, they all do a great job. You got Rosario Dawson, who plays the girlfriend. I thought she did well. Bill Nunn plays Uncle Bubba, and I really like Bill Nunn as an actor. I thought he was great. I liked the girl Zelda Harris, who played the sister. I thought she did a good job as well. And everyone else in the supporting cast, Roger and Gunnar Smith, a Spike Lee regular, makes an appearance in this movie. I thought he was good. He actually had a really funny scene. So yeah, supporting cast in this movie, very very solid. Spike Lee's direction, very spot on. This movie visually looks fantastic. The cinematography is fantastic. I like the whole look of New York. I like how it's grounded and gritty. I like how the groundedness of this movie gives it a nice realistic look. And when you have the actors acting like people and not like acting like real people, it just gives this film a good authenticity. So even though I'm not the huge Spike Lee fan, I give the man credit for creating good, interesting, and compelling characters. And that's what this movie has. This movie's got good characters that you root for and you want to see get what they want. And in the end, everyone does end up getting what they want, which is, to me, that's a satisfying ending for a movie like this. So yeah, overall, those are my thoughts on He Got Game. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I have a lot of highlights with it. There are some things I would have done with it to make, that's just me personally. But at the end, I'm going to give He Got Game a solid 8 out of 10. Thoroughly enjoyed this one. And I highly recommend it. Anyway, if you guys have seen He Got Game, let me know in the comment sections below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? I would like to know. Like the video and subscribe. And I'll check you back next time for more.